If you want a 2026 smartphone that's gaming-oriented, has extra-large battery, stays stable under pressure, and sneaks in the most advanced Samsung display ever made for a phone, the iQOO 15 might just be the one. But is it good or bad in real life? Let's inspect. Let's talk about iQOO 15's main strength, the performance. Before that, a big shout out to my friend Colleen for finding this pretty awesome t-shirt. Now, I want to show you the thermal control during sustained maximum load of the CPU. On the left, you see the temperatures during normal use. On the right, after hammering the phone with Wildlife Extreme by 3D Mark. Snapdragon Elite Generation 5 is still relatively new, not yet perfectly optimized by early adopters. And despite that, feels to me that iQOO is the brand that tuned it quite well. No matter what test you throw at it, iQOO 15 is going to pass. Strong stability, predictable temperature spikes. However, there's a bit of a surprising part, because even with all these optimizations that we're talking about, iQOO 15 still shows worse long-term sustained performance than last year's iQOO 13 when it comes to handling throttling. So the system on a chip clearly needs a bit more time to mature. But think about the whole picture. You're getting the best processor in the industry for significantly less money than what most other flagships are going to charge for it. So if you need heavy-duty performance, extensive gaming, or maximum CPU power, this is a spot-on choice. Where competitors like the OnePlus 15 tend to choke under prolonged load, the iQOO 15 holds significantly better. But again, the hardware potential is higher than what the current firmware can extract. In terms of testing, Antutu 2 can score up to 3.7 million depending on the RAM and storage configuration, and Geekbench 6 multi-core result is just below 11,000. Means that iQOO 15 is firmly among the fastest devices on the planet right now, even if we believe the software can squeeze a bit more out of the Gen 5 in the coming months. Let's take a look at some more examples through real-world gaming, because this is where the iQOO 15 quietly becomes a monster. As for first-person shooter games like Call of Duty Mobile, they run flawlessly with excellent touch response and pretty good thermal balance. Real Racing 3, it comes with perfect frame pacing, zero throttling, no hiccups at all. And the fun part, despite not looking like a hardcore gaming phone, this thing is a gaming champion in disguise, a stealth gamer phone, which many of us actually prefer. Speaking of design, let's talk about the looks and the ergonomics. Battery characteristics are growing this year, and just as expected, the iQOO 15 uses a silicon carbon battery with high density. The magic? The phone stays very slim, despite the massive battery inside. As for the pack, inside the box you get a case, which is matching the color of your phone, which is a really nice touch. There's a charger, but remember, this is the global version, so some regions may get it or not. And the BMW branding is gone this year, but OriginOS branding is back on the box. In the hand, the phone is slim, feels sleek, and stays that way even with the case on. I genuinely prefer its feel over a lot of other current flagships, and depending on your color, you may get fiber-reinforced plastic for the back, which I find better than glass for grip, durability, and weight. The LED ring around the camera is still here, iconic for the series, great for notifications without turning on the screen. Keep it, iQOO, this is a win. A quick check on the tech highlights shows up to 16 GB of RAM, plenty of storage options, all the latest wireless protocols, a seriously advanced display, a capable triple camera system, and even USB 3.2 with OTG support, worth mentioning because some big brands still ignore this. The big surprise though, the screen, glorious. It's an AMOLED panel which is called M14, made by Samsung. Very likely it's going to be the same type that Samsung are going to use for Galaxy S26 Ultra. So the iQOO 15 not only is about great raw performance, it also is giving you class-leading display. The peak brightness is just insane, the PWM performance much better than some of the older Samsung panels. So if performance alone didn't convince you this far, combine it with the next generation screen and you will get the idea about iQOO 15. And now something I intentionally avoided up until this moment the camera system, and I've got many sample photos and videos to show you. In short, daytime photos are excellent. Even when the lights go down, performance remains surprisingly good. You will genuinely enjoy this camera. Is it iPhone grade? Not really. I'd classify it as an upper mid-range in terms of tuning, but boosted by the most powerful system on a chip on the market right now, results often feel closer to flagship level. The main camera is the same as last year's iQOO 13, no upgrade there, but the real upgrade, the telephoto. We jump from a basic 2x zoom to a 3x telephoto with much larger sensor, optical image stabilization, and significantly better overall performance. In fact, this telephoto is likely better than what you get on the OnePlus 15, the Galaxy S25 Plus, and many others. It's the most pleasant surprise in the entire camera system. The ultra-wide shooter, well, keep the expectations low. Good in sunshine, modest at night. The selfie camera is improved, sharper, a bit more natural. Overall, I think iQOO 15 camera setup is decent. You get great photos, but it's not at the level of Vivo, Oppo, Xiaomi or Honor's best. But hey, let's stay on the multimedia for a second, because here is the speaker system. iQOO uses a dual symmetrical speakers with AAC 1511 master level drivers, very close to OnePlus 15 in terms of quality, and maybe, just maybe, even more pleasant than the famous Xiaomi 17 Pro. Battery life is also on the good side. There are lots of variables here: brightness, gaming, refresh rate, network usage. But with the right kind of settings and OriginOS's aggressive standby optimization, 7 to 9 hours of screen on time are absolutely doable, even with dual SIM setup. The software is not perfectly optimized, there is some bloatware, and you may tweak a few settings in order to maximize the endurance. Charging speeds are dropped from 120 to 100 watts, but for the good reason. iQOO switched to a single-cell battery design, which should extend long-term battery health. And the big news, wireless charging is finally here. The software experience is good, in my opinion. OriginOS is still one of the fastest and most customizable Android skins. You get long-term software support, up to 4 years of Android and 5 years of security depending on your region. There are tons of themes, icon packs, widgets and customization tools, far beyond what stock Android offers. Notice the iQOO dialer, which is much better than the Google dialer for dual SIM users, proper call recording, better SIM management, better user interface. And we also have options such as app cloning, including WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram and many others, plus little goodies. Split screen option, a mini window feature, a toolbox, a security center, and a deep performance mode. You lose some simplicity compared to Pixel UI, but in return you get far more functionality, far more control, and far better performance tuning. As for the connectivity and the sensors, you get almost everything modern. Latest wireless standards, there even is eSIM support for the global version, NFC, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, there's a very accurate proximity sensor, meaning that your screen shuts off perfectly during phone calls, there wouldn't be any ghost turn-ons for the screen, and also quality haptics. The category is extremely solid. And yet, this doesn't mean that the iQOO 15 is perfect. There are a few downsides to keep in mind. The main camera is still using last year's image sensor, the ultra-wide is a bit underwhelming, and the early software versions show notable throttling of the system on a chip. If there is something else you think should be added to this list, let me know in the comments below. It's time for my balanced verdict, and I think we're on the same page about the CPU. So apart from that, the camera system, I think it delivers surprisingly decent camera performance without any fancy marketing tricks. Vivo could have easily cut corners for the iQOO 15. They didn't, and this is really well done. In some areas, I feel that it's even better than the OnePlus 15, and it might be actually the 2026 underdog. So if you're choosing a phone right now, here's my breakdown. If you already have the iQOO 13, keep it. From iQOO 12 this is going to feel like a solid step up. It completely destroys most of the mid-range smartphones, and if you want a gaming phone or performance beast, I think this is a fantastic choice. For cameras, well, there are certain ifs, and you can for sure take some great photos, but with a bit of tuning and patience, out of the box, it wouldn't impress you too much except for the 3-time telephoto lens. With the RAM and storage pricing drama in the past few months, I feel that Vivo did everything they could in order to keep the price down and reasonable while still giving you a lot of good, meaningful upgrades. And honestly, they succeeded. I think this is a very competitive package. So let me know what you think. Are you ready to pay more for just raw performance or for the camera? And hey, if this video is useful, support me, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Michael, and I'll see you soon. Bye.